They never raise their voice. They never blow up. In public, they're charming, soft-spoken, and deeply thoughtful. But if you've ever been close to one, you know exactly what I mean when I say something feels deeply wrong and you can't explain it to anyone because from the outside, everything looks fine. The feeling has a name. And today, I'm going to give you the words for it. When most people think of a narcissist, they picture someone loud, someone arrogant, someone who walks into a room and immediately makes it about themselves. But covert narcissists, they're the opposite on the surface. They seem humble. They seem sensitive. They often present as the most caring person you know. That is a disguise, and it's what makes them so hard to identify and so easy to excuse. I'm going to walk you through 10 signs, not the obvious ones you've already heard, but the subtle, specific behaviors that most people write off as personality quirks or stress. And I want to warn you, at least one of these signs is going to feel uncomfortably familiar. Stay to the end because sign number 10 is the one that causes the most long-term damage and almost nobody talks about it. Sign 1. They perform suffering instead of expressing it. A covert narcissist rarely asks for attention directly. That would be too obvious. Instead, they make sure you notice how much they're struggling. The long, heavy sigh in the kitchen. The "don't worry about me, I'll figure it out" said with just enough weight to make you drop everything and worry. Their pain is always visible, but somehow it's never discussed. It just hangs in the room until you address it. And when you do, they pull back. No, really, it's fine. It's martyrdom as a control mechanism. They get sympathy without ever being vulnerable. Sign 2. Every compliment comes with a ceiling. You actually did a really good job on that. I wasn't sure you could pull it off. You look great. I can tell you've really been trying lately. On the surface, these sound like praise, but embedded in everyone is a quiet reminder that they are the ones setting the standard and you're lucky you reached it. It's not accidental, it's precision. They build you up just enough to keep you seeking their approval, and just low enough to make sure you never stop needing it. Now here's where it gets harder to spot. Because the next few signs, they feel like love. They look like love. That's what makes them so disorienting. Sign 3. Their generosity is a loan, not a gift. They help you, sometimes in genuinely meaningful ways. They show up, they give, they sacrifice. And in the moment, it feels real. But months later, sometimes years later, in the middle of a completely unrelated argument, it surfaces. After everything I've done for you. That's when you realize every act of kindness was being recorded. Every favor was filed away. Their giving isn't unconditional. It's an investment with a silent interest rate that they get to decide on whenever it's most useful to them. Sign 4. They compete without ever appearing competitive. They never say, "I'm better than you." That's too direct. Instead, it sounds like, "I could never do what you do. I just care too much about doing things right." Or, "That's a great approach. It's just not how I would handle it." They position themselves above you while maintaining total deniability. If you ever point it out, they look genuinely hurt. "I was complimenting you." And suddenly, you're the one apologizing for reading too much into it. That's the trap. Sign 5. Silence is their loudest weapon. They don't fight. They go quiet. Cold, deliberate, loaded silence. One word answers. The kind of stillness that fills an entire room and demands to be addressed. When you ask what's wrong, they say nothing. "I'm fine," but you both know nothing is fine. So you spend the next hour, sometimes the entire day, trying to figure out what you did, trying to fix something they will never name, because naming it would mean giving up the power the silence gives them. It's emotional hostage-taking without a single word spoken. We're halfway through, and I want you to notice something. Every single sign so far has one thing in common. Nothing is ever provably wrong. There's always an innocent explanation. I'll come back to why that matters. Keep going. Sign 6. Accountability turns into their victimhood. Try to bring up something that hurt you, even calmly, even carefully, and watch what happens. Within minutes, you're not talking about what you raised. You're talking about how much your bringing it up has hurt them, how no one ever considers their feelings, how hard they've been trying. Your valid concern becomes their crisis, and you end up comforting the person who hurt you, apologizing for having the conversation in the first place. It's a perfect defense system because who keeps attacking someone who's already fallen apart? Sign 7. They celebrate your wins briefly and with a follow-up. Good news happens. They smile. They hug you. They say the right things. But watch closely. There's often a flicker before the performance starts. A half second of something that isn't joy. Then over the next few days, subtle comments. Are you sure you're ready for that? I just don't want you to get your hopes up. I heard it's not as good as people are saying. They can't fully celebrate you because your success is, to them, a measurement they've been found lacking on. So they quietly sand it down. Sign 8, narrative reframing. Their memory is highly selective. They remember every single thing you've ever done wrong. Specific words, specific dates, details you've forgotten. But ask them about their own behavior. Blank. I never said that. That's not how it happened. You're remembering it wrong. This isn't forgetfulness. Their memory works perfectly fine for the evidence that supports their narrative. It only fails for the evidence that doesn't. Over time, this rewrites the entire history of your relationship from their perspective. And the scariest part is, if it goes on long enough, it starts to rewrite it from yours too. Sign 9. They ration warmth like a resource they control. When you need emotional support after a hard day, during a difficult moment, they're suddenly distant, distracted. They give you a few sentences and then pivot the conversation back to themselves, or they simply aren't present in the way you need them to be. But watch them with someone who can give them something: status, admiration, usefulness. Suddenly they're warm, attentive, generous with their time. Emotional connection isn't something they struggle with. It's something they choose to invest based on return. Sign 10. They rewrite reality slowly, patiently, over years. This is the most damaging sign and the quietest. It doesn't happen all at once. Over months and years, they reshape the story of your relationship. Who caused the problems? Who gave more? Who suffered? Who tried? They do it in small moments, in casual conversations, in the way they describe the past to mutual friends. And because it's gradual, and because they seem so sincere, you don't notice until you realize you've been defending yourself from a version of your own life that you didn't write. That's not an accident. That's the long game. Earlier I said every sign has something in common. Here it is. Control through plausible deniability. Nothing a covert narcissist does is ever clearly, obviously wrong. There is always an innocent explanation, always a way to make your concerns sound like overreaction. That gap between what you feel and what you can prove is exactly where they live, which is why people who've been through this so often describe the same experience. I can't explain it to anyone. From the outside, they seem fine. So I started thinking maybe the problem was me. It wasn't you. It was never you. You were just trained to think that, and recognizing these signs is the first step toward untraining it. Trust your nervous system. If you consistently feel worse after spending time with someone, even when nothing specific happened, even when you can't name what's wrong, that is data. Your body is keeping score even when your mind is making excuses. If this resonated, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Sometimes the most helpful thing you can do for a person is hand them the right words. And drop a comment below. Which sign hit closest to home? I read every one, and your answers honestly shape what I make next. Now, coming next on May 19th, gaslighting, the complete breakdown. How it actually works psychologically, the exact phrases people use to do it, and how to recognize when it's happening to you in real time. If covert narcissism is the behavior, gaslighting is the mechanism, you're going to want to see it. Subscribe so you don't miss it, and I'll see you on the 19th.